Welcome to the Standards of Excellence tutorial on the Performance Improvement Guide from the Fraternity and Sorority Life blog. This video will cover what information is available to chapter leaders and their support teams to ensure success in the Standards of Excellence process, or SOE. This video will focus specifically on the resources called the Performance Improvement Guide. First, let's talk about Standards of Excellence as a whole. Recently, the Standards of Excellence process received a few improvements to support chapter leaders in completing the annual submission. One of the newest resources for chapters is the Performance Improvement Guide, and it can be found on the FSL website under the Support Resources. The Performance Improvement Guide serves a couple of different functions for chapters. First, if a chapter does not meet the minimum standard requirements in a given year, this document supports chapter executive boards in building a plan for improvement. The second function of this document is to help chapters preemptively plan for the goals they wish to achieve. This tutorial will assist you in understanding the functions that this tool provides and how you can use this in your planning. All of the Standards of Excellence materials are a different color to help distinguish between them. So, the Performance Improvement Guide is yellow. Now let's explore this resource. Page 2 serves to provide a description of this tool and as a table of contents. While we have already reviewed the purpose of this tool, the description may aid in providing additional context. The table of contents, like those in the other documents, is a link content to which will help you navigate the document more quickly. The next few pages will be similar for each section. However, this tool does go through each section individually. On your screen now is the Membership Development section, or Section 1. On the top of the page, you will find the question, how did your chapter score on this section previously? With 4 boxes for the points that are required for the recognition, additional section points, the total achieved in that section, and the percentage for that section. Once you input the points that your chapter achieved in the required for recognition and additional section point boxes, the total and percentage will automatically calculate. This calculation may take a moment, however, it is set to do all the math for you. Once you have completed the previous point section, now it's time to jump into the future planning section in the yellow box. As you'll see, the first area will be the points that are required for recognition. Because these points are so important, this is a great area to focus on first. On the left side will be the point boxes, title of the standard, and the points that are available for that standard. On the right side will be a brief description of the standard. For a fuller description of the standards, please check the Standards of Excellence Submission Guide. This area will be where you can put in projected point accumulation to see how your chapter is doing on a particular section. For planning purposes, this would be a great place to have a discussion with your chapter leadership team about which points will or won't be achievable and make appropriate adjustments as needed. On page 4, you'll see the section titled Additional Points in Section, which will capture the remaining standards in that section. Where the required for recognition points aid chapters in achieving the minimum standard, the additional points in section aid a chapter in showcasing the extra things that they are providing in their membership experience. Unlike page 1, this section only includes the titles and point values of each standard, but does include the boxes for your chapter to place point projections. In the next area, called Projected Score, you'll see the point calculations begin to tabulate. The value this tool provides is that it can provide your leadership and support team with a way to process and begin manipulating the standards points to determine if your goals would be achieved. Again, give this section a bit of time to calculate, as it can take a minute to catch up. However, all the math should be completed for you. Now, moving on to the next section is where the planning tool begins. The next page and a half include questions, both checkbox and short answer, that will help your team discuss the plans for SOE. This would be a great few pages to delegate to each committee or team within your leadership to work through in a retreat experience. The goal of this tool is to make the discussion about standards of excellence easier and a bit more goal-based. As we continue to scroll through the pages, you will see a mirror structure for the other 3 sections of standards of excellence as well. Some sections may have more points in the required for recognition, and some may have more points in the additional points section. However, this is a great thing to be aware of as you make plans. Finally, a few tips as you begin considering how to use this tool. First, delegation and teamwork are key. This should not be a process that one leader takes on for the chapter. All officers should know their role in standards as early as possible in their role. We suggest using this tool in transition or an early leadership meeting, as it will help make the team familiar with the standards process. Next, this accreditation process will likely mirror the process for your international organization, and knowing the documentation requirements for both is essential. Combined with allocating time each month to collect the documentation, you will find that doing the documentation and collecting materials as you go will make submitting this document and the one for your international organization much easier. Take a bit of time to help your leaders determine these steps early to save yourself a bunch of time at the end of the process. Last tip would be to set goals and work to achieve them. Chapters who work through this process without a goal will feel aimless, so take the time to set goals and work toward achieving them. If your predecessors have set goals for SOE, take the challenge and seek to improve on one area to continuously improve. We hope this overview has been a helpful tool in navigating these new resources available to your chapter through the Standards of Excellence. As mentioned previously, we hope to add resources and continue to evolve this program for the UO experience with feedback. For chapters who are beginning their submission process, please review the other tutorial videos on the FSL website, as questions about the submission documents and more can be answered there. Of course, if you have any additional questions that cannot be answered by this page of resources, please reach out to your chapter coach for additional support.